In the 1980s, deep in the Oregon wilderness, a utopian dream was taking shape. A spiritual teacher known simply as Osho and a young woman named Anand Sheela built a city from nothing. A city powered by meditation, free love, and unprecedented controversy. But along with utopia came crime, betrayal, and the question that still lingers. Were Osho and Sheela more than just guru and disciple? Osho, born Chandra Mohan Jain on December 11, 1931, in Kujwada, Madhya Pradesh, India, was a precocious child fascinated with philosophy and rebellion. By his early 20s, he had earned a reputation as a provocative public speaker, often criticizing traditional Hinduism and Gandhi's ascetic ideals. In 1966, he resigned from his teaching post at Jabalpur University to focus solely on spreading his unique vision, meditation combined with unrestrained human experience. He said, "I am not interested in following traditions. I am interested in creating consciousness." By the 1970s, Osho had attracted thousands, including Western seekers, drawn to his openness about love, sexuality, and freedom. In 1968, a 16-year-old Gujarati girl named Sheela Ambalal Patel first met Osho in India. She later said, "The moment I heard him speak, I knew this was my master," in a Swiss Info interview in 2020. She moved to the US in the late 1960s, married an American, Mark Harris Silverman, whom Sheela later injected with a lethal injection that caused his death. This is according to the Rajneeshpuram former mayor, David Berry Knapp. In the US, Sheela reportedly maintained a fairly conventional life, supporting Mark, who was a student or small business proprietor, while quietly staying connected to Osho's teachings and planning a future aligned with her spiritual yearnings, though these years are less documented in exact details. While direct quotes about Mark are sparsely in public accessible writings, Sheela reflects on her spiritual commitments. She writes of the time in her life when she was torn within, and it had become difficult for her to choose between the inner truth or to forget everything for Bhagwan. This hints at her transformation and shifting priorities from married life with Mark toward deep spiritual allegiance to Osho. In 1972, Sheela reconnected with Osho in Pune, India, where his ashram was thriving. But aside from Mark, her flames extended beyond Osho. Hugh Milne, Osho's bodyguard, and Sheela worked together in running the communal canteen. They had a brief, intense affair that lasted about a month, which ended when Sheela's husband reportedly asked Osho to intervene. Afterward, Sheela's attitude toward Milne noticeably changed, as she ascended the ashram hierarchy, eventually replacing Ma Anand Lakshmi as Rajneesh's personal secretary. In his memoir and many interviews, Milne describes Sheela as a ruthless individual, disregarding local laws and institutions, embezzlement, and a slave driver. Although these allegations may bear some truth, could it be that Milne was also resentful of the fact that Sheela had upgraded companionship to their master, Osho? It would also appear that Milne was not the only one who carried resentment about the affair between Osho and Sheela. Lakshmi and Diksha, Osho's former secretaries, were also disgruntled by the fact that Sheela had replaced them both professionally and intimately. By 1981, after her husband's death, Sheela became Osho's personal secretary and closest confidant. Osho's teachings openly embraced sexuality as a path to liberation. In his book, From Sex to the Superconsciousness, he stated that sex is the seed, love is the flower, and compassion is fragrance. This openness fueled speculation about his personal life. Several disciples, including Ma Yoga Vivek, Osho's longtime caretaker, were rumored to have intimate relationships with him. This was according to Hugh Milne in the book The God That Failed in 1987. When asked in interviews if he engaged romantically with disciples, Osho famously replied, "I am not celibate. I am not against love." Sheela herself denied any physical relationship. She said, "I was his secretary, not his lover, but as a disciple loves her master." Still, multiple ex-disciples claimed otherwise, suggesting an intimacy that blurred lines between devotion and romance. In July 1981, Osho and his followers purchased the 64,000-acre Big Muddy Ranch in Wasco County, Oregon. Their goal: to build a utopian city called Rajneeshpuram. Sheela spearheaded the operation, handling everything from land disputes to immigration strategies. In a 1982 NBC interview, she declared, "We will build a model city for the future of mankind." As Sheela's power grew, so did whispers about her relationship with Osho. Some disciples like Vivek allegedly felt sidelined.
Yes, straight in here, and it comes up, and it comes out. Be a man!
In his book, Hugh Milne wrote, "Many of us suspected Sheela's loyalty went beyond administration. But no credible evidence emerged beyond speculation." Sheela herself addressed it in Netflix's Wild Wild Country in 2018, saying, "People like to create romance out of loyalty. The truth is less exciting." Osho retreated in silence in 1982, leaving Sheela effectively in charge. Her leadership style was aggressive, famously summed up in her "tough titties" response to critics in the ABC Nightline interview, September 1985. She clashed with local Oregon residents, resulting in lawsuits, violent confrontations, and even an assassination plot allegation against U.S. Attorney Charles Turner. In September 1984, followers loyal to Sheela poisoned salad bars in the Dallas, Oregon, sickening over 750 people. This is according to a CDC report in 1985. Osho, breaking his silence in September 1985, accused Sheela of betrayal. And he said, "She has poisoned my people, tried to kill my doctor, and barred my home. She is a criminal." Sheela fled to Germany, was arrested and sentenced to 20 years, serving 29 months. By September 1985, Osho ended his 3-year vow of silence. He emerged not to celebrate success, but to reveal betrayal. Sheela and her gang have tried to poison my physician, have bugged my home, and have committed crimes that go against everything I teach. Sheela had betrayed me and betrayed my people. He accused her inner circle of mass poisoning in the Dallas, Oregon attempted murders and illegal surveillance. He added, "I was in silence, trusting her completely, and she misused that trust." Yet, Osho also addressed the love Sheela expressed toward him for years. In another discourse that week, he said, "Sheela loved me in her own way, but it was mixed with ambition. Her love becomes poisonous when it is possessive." He explained that his vision of love was different. He added, "I teach love without clinging, but Sheela wanted me as her possession. That is not love, that is politics." Sheela later admitted in her memoir, Don't Kill Me, that she adored him deeply but claimed, "I was his secretary, not his lover." Still, many disciples said that their dynamic felt personal and emotionally charged. In spite of exposing Sheela, Osho said he forgave her. He said, "I feel no anger towards her. She was unconscious, like all ambitious people are. I release her with compassion." This was the final chapter of their partnership, but it left questions about the depth of their bond unanswered. Even after Sheela's departure, rumors of Osho's relationship with Ma Yoga Vivek persisted. Vivek, who lived in Osho's residence, was widely believed to be his closest companion. Author Hugh Milner and other insiders claimed their relationship was romantic, though never publicly confirmed. Osho's teachings live on in many countries, meditation resorts, and self-help movements. Sheela, now running nursing homes in Switzerland, remains unapologetic. "I regret nothing. I did what I had to do." The question of romance still remains unresolved, leaving room for speculation, debate, and endless theories. So, were Osho and Sheela lovers, or was their connection purely spiritual, twisted by rumors and politics? Tell us what you believe.